CFMOTO 700 metric tons. I'm here specifically for the engine. While I'm at it, I'll strip the bike down to show everyone. Is it really just a mashup of old stock parts? Let's check the manufacturing dates on the body parts. The seat comes with heating, and this seat has been completely redesigned. Removing the seat, let's look at the ECU first. It uses a Bosch ECU. The manufacture date on this ECU is August 7, 2024. The overall wiring is quite neat and tidy. The manufacture date of this bike is November 2024. So, with the ECU made on August 7th, it's within a reasonable time frame. It's not old stock. Check the nameplate here, November 2024. The engine model is 283MU. A friend of mine bought this bike. I helped him get a good discount. In return, my sinister plan was to let me tear it down. The owner readily agreed. The one working right now is him. The 700MT's appearance looks more like the 800 metric tons now. This look is becoming a CFMOTO family signature. The 700 metric tons was originally an overseas model. This time, it was just a standard facelift. But surprisingly, they brought it to the domestic market. And the price was set quite low. That's why there's been so much skepticism. My friend and I were just as curious. So what do? We tear it down. You can see production dates on many parts. Especially the materials used inside the engine, because you can't see those from the outside. The brake calipers were also made in August 2024. Heated grips are also included. Look at the shape of this exhaust. It looks like it's been redesigned as well. Externally, it seems to have dual catalytic converters, likely because €5 plus emissions are very strict. Of course, I can't cut it open to confirm the dual catalysts. Checking the rear brake pump's production date. It's also August 5, 2024. The rear foot pegs were produced on September 19, 2024. None of these are old stock parts. They are all newly ordered. When the 700 metric tons first appeared on the MIIT list, I was surprised because I knew this bike had been sold abroad for a long time. I thought it would remain an export-only model and not be sold here. Coming back to the domestic market at this price is a bold move. This should be considered the first price war of 2025. Maybe because it's an overseas model. The battery labels look different. Not only is the wiring very tidy, but some plugs even have Chinese labels, with English on the back. Even a novice taking it apart would know what each plug is for. The design is very user-friendly. I hope CFMOTO keeps this up. Now, let's remove the fuel tank cover. The actual fuel tank is encased within this outer shell. This is what the fuel tank looks like. Take a look. Lift the tank, and you can see the air filter. The air filter is the same as the CLX 700. Or rather, it's the same as the 650 metric tons. Let's move the tank aside so you can see. The routing is definitely not messy. And this here is the air filter housing. The filter isn't hard to remove. Since I'm pulling the whole engine out, I have to take the airbox off. For a normal filter change, you just pull this middle tab up to swap it out. Let's check the connectors over here. Again, all the connectors are labeled. They aren't just thrown in a pile. They are all secured in place. Having these labels is very helpful for both owners and mechanics. The ignition coils are also an improved type. This should be the IoT module for the bike. Production date is September 2024. The throttle is cable actuated. It's not electronic. At this price point, you won't get ride-by-wire. The fuel injector wires also have labels on them. Since it distinguishes between cylinder 1 and 2, you can see the markings on the labels. The cooling fan is from Panasonic, Xingxia. That's good quality. Finally, I found the production date on the exhaust system. This is from Jinlang Exhaust. Made in September 2024. Yamaha's exhausts used to be from Jinlang too. The sensors on the throttle body are all from Bosch. Even both oxygen sensors are Bosch. Bosch parts aren't cheap. Everyone knows that. The fuel injectors are also Bosch. Looking at it this way, the 700 metric tons isn't a parts bin bike. And they didn't use cheap components. To cut corners, the ABS pump is from Reassembly. Its production date is July 2024. The radiator is from August 2024. The fuse box has a waterproof rubber cover here. This position is quite easy to access. Alright, the engine is out. Somehow, the bike with the engine removed. Looks like a plucked parrot. Today's star is this. The 700 metric tons engine. I'll take it to my workshop and tear it down. Let's dissect it. To see if in the hidden places, they've cut any corners. CFMOTO 700 metric tons engine teardown. Let's see if the sub 30000 RMB 700 metric tons compared to the original 50000 plus CLX 700 has a downgraded engine. Again, let's check the part dates. After all, you can't see the internal materials from the outside. The clutch cover was made on September 25, 2024. Let's look at the clutch. The clutch still uses the FCC slipper clutch from Japan. The CFMOTO 650 uses a Chongqing clutch. The CLX 700 also uses an FCC slipper clutch. I won't go on about how good FCC clutches are. But at least their procurement cost is higher than other brands. Here is the FCC logo. The clutch date is also July 2024. The clutch hasn't been downgraded. It uses paper-based friction plates. Indeed, few brands use full FCC clutch sets. Mainly because they are expensive. Next, let's look at the clutch basket. Because some manufacturers, to control costs, only buy the FCC pressure plates. Or just the inner hub. This outer basket is also from FCC. So the entire clutch assembly is FCC. Let's check the bearings. I see TMB on the inner race. That should be a Japanese NTN bearing. Specifically, a long life series. Bearings haven't been downgraded. CFMOTO has always used good engine bearings. Usually NTN. Finally, I'll strip it down to the gearbox. To confirm the bearings for you, remove the cylinder head cover. This head cover is different from the 650 series. It has a secondary air injection system, so the head cover was redesigned. You'll see why here. There's the air return port. The 700 metric tons engine model is 283 MU. The CLX 700 engine model is also 283 MU. But once disassembled, there are differences between the two. Let's look at the cylinder head. The head's production date is September 2024. The engraving on the cap is the production date. Let's check the timing chain tensioner. This is a mechanical tensioner. The CLX version used a hydraulic tensioner. The tensioner's date is July 2024. Different tensioners mean different cylinder heads. It's mainly evident here. The hydraulic tensioner only has a hole in the middle, so this cylinder head is different from the CLX 700. The oil galleries I'm pointing at are also different. Since the CLX uses a hydraulic tensioner, there's a check valve in the oil path. But the 700 metric tons doesn't have it. Mechanical tensioners offer better stability. Hydraulic ones help with the lifespan of the timing chain. So both have their pros and cons. Check the camshaft. The camshaft is made of nodular cast iron, and it has been oxidized. The process is the same as the 650 metric tons and CLX 700. Same as always, you haven't seen any cost cutting yet, right? Look at the valve lifters, tappets. Compared to the 650 metric tons, these valve lifters have a DLC coating on top. This is actually an upgrade. I've explained DLC before. It's essentially a diamond-like carbon coating. Remove the cylinder head. Let's look at the valves. The valves are from Changjiang, Jiangsu. The famous performance beast, Suzuki GSX 250, also uses Changjiang valves. The 650 metric tons and CLX use ceramic cylinders. Let's see if the 700 metric tons has been downgraded. Visually, it's still a ceramic cylinder. Let me shine some light on it. Electroplated ceramic cylinder. Look at that shiny surface. And the honing pattern appears to have been upgraded. This cylinder is made by Chaoyang Cylinder in Jiangmen. Regarding this honing upgrade, I specifically asked them, and they confirmed it. Because this type of honing was first adopted in the automotive industry, it requires a machinery upgrade to produce this crosshatch pattern. Check the pistons. The black soot on the piston crown is normal. During factory testing, pistons are coated with oil, so it turns black slightly after initial use. It's the same for every brand. These are forged pistons. The 650 series does not use forged pistons. Piston materials are top tier here. A spray of carburetor cleaner and it's clean. The piston crowns have micro-arc oxidation treatment, coated with molybdenum disulfide. The piston rings are PVD coated for launching. The pistons are an upgrade over the 650 and remain identical to the CLX 700. Remove the gear selector cover. Now we can see the main bearings. Japanese NTN. Yes, it's marked right here. Made in Japan. Let's check the gears. The gears are from Akita. You can see the Akita logo here. August 2024. Even entry-level BMWs and KTMs use Akita gears. No further introduction needed. So far, the internal materials are solid. Considering the price point, these engine materials are very honest. Check my previous teardown videos. Finding these materials in a domestic twin-cylinder is already quite rare. June 2024, also from Akita. I scratched the engine case during disassembly. My friend is going to be heartbroken. CFMOTO really doesn't hold back on engine materials. That's just the truth. The crankcase structure is slightly different too. The oil drain bolt is on the side. On the 650, it's at the bottom. If you've watched this far, give this video a like. Imagine if you traveled back 5 years and told people a 700 cubic centimeters bike costs under 30,000 renminbi. They'd say you're talking nonsense. 5 years ago, 30,000 only got you a DL250. Check the balance shaft. The balance shaft bearings are shell type. Copper lead alloy bearings. Let's show you the countershaft bearings. They are from NSK, Japan. Marked, Japan, which means they are made in Japan. The magnetorotor also shows a production date of August 2024. Look at the fractured connecting rods. You can't see the seams, right? That's the advantage of fractured rods. They have perfect uniqueness and higher precision. Normal rods have visible seams where they join. But look at these fractured ones. The seams are almost invisible. It makes you think it's a single piece. Check the crankshaft. See the wide parting line? That means it's a forged crankshaft. The blue tint in the middle is from high-frequency induction hardening. It's the same crank as the CLX 700, forged crankshaft from Gammon. Crankshaft production date is July 2024. The 2233 code here is for bearing matching. It represents the crankshaft tolerances. The timing chain is a reinforced type from Borg Warner. Oh, let's check the main bearings. Main bearings are also copper lead shells from Dado. Production date is February 2024. This is the balance shaft. It also has a production date. May 2024. After the full teardown, the materials are impressive. No downgrades whatsoever. Plus upgraded forged pistons, ceramic cylinders and DLC-coated valve lifters. Then the FCC clutch. Also, the cylinder honing process has been upgraded, still using fractured connecting rods and imported bearings. The material quality is very competitive, definitely worth the price. Now I need to put it back together. My friend is dying to ride it. I won't film the reassembly in detail. Putting the cylinders back on. Installing the camshafts. Adding 3 bottles of an SP grade. Full synthetic oil. The oil smells like grapes. Head cover on. Bolts torqued down, and we're done. All finished. Coolant topped up. Oh wait, I forgot the oil. Forget it, let's just end it here.